Welcome to Planning Face Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is episode 72 of our Star Wars Unlimited podcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Michigan PQ. If you didn't know, we went there, we played, a lot of us did well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the PQ and our experiences from this weekend. Also, we have some cool new lists. I don't want to call them off meta lists, because I don't feel like there's a meta that is like a solidified meta. But there's some cool lists that popped up in the tops of some of the PQs. That's kind of been like an ongoing theme that we've done. So I kind of wanted to do the same thing again and like show off a few more decks that we ran into this weekend and some that look really cool to play. And lastly, we're going to have an interview with a board game designer. So I'm going to preface this and tell you it is not an FFG board game designer, but I will highly recommend that you watch all the way to the end of the episode. This interview is amazing. We actually are able to relate all of his board game experience and creation. He worked for FFG like well before even Destiny came out. And so he gives us some insider tips and tricks and we talk a little bit about like meta building and, kind of some of the different things that go on that people in slew of questions. So I have that interview right at the end. It'll be a great interview. It's going to be part of our new series. I'm working to try to create a new designer interview series where we interview different designers of board games and stuff like that as well. With that being said, please welcome to the show my co-host for tonight, Mr. Alex the Benchwarmer. How are you tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm doing okay. PQ yesterday, that was really fun. Still kind of tired. I had to work this morning, so.
Oh, well, it's a good thing you left when you did then. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I didn't find that until about an hour into my shift.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you working today? And I'm like, on a Sunday? I've never worked on a Sunday. And I looked it up and I'm just like, yeah, I'll be there in like 10 minutes.
Well, at least your work isn't that far from your house then, right? Because at least you were able to get there pretty quickly. Whereas...
I just put on my uniform and head out the door. It's just, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of one of the things, like, that's like, at least that was nice for you, though it really sucks you had to work Sunday, especially after the PQ and everything like that. So, but you didn't have as long of a drive home as I did. I had the 2-hour drive home. So I was there till after 10, and then I had almost a 2-hour drive home. And I got back. I did get back into town at 11:48 or 11:49 or something like that. And luckily, we kind of had dinner. Like Staniszewski and I went to Subway and had like kind of an impromptu, smaller dinner. And that was like we just wanted something to eat before Top Cut, and yeah. So I don't know. It was a fun day. And I will say like. The positives of the day, right, is that the store was very supportive. They were very attentive to players. They felt very welcoming to all of the players that were there. In my opinion, the downside was it was a very small store. So like it was very warm and very crowded in there. So hopefully they do get another PQ. I don't know, like Alex, do you like playing in the smaller or the larger PQs? I mean, it felt better having one less round.
Sure. I don't particularly care one way or another. Although larger PQs, it is a little bit harder for people to ID. So it feels slightly better, but that's a negligible thing. I enjoy them.
Yeah, little shade thrown at your boy here. Me and Staniszewski, we ID'd last 2 rounds. So
yeah, IDing 2 rounds is a little bit rough for me. That's about it. IDing 1 round, totally fine.
And we did the math, and the math stated we would get into top 8 with 2 IDs. So we took it, and ran. I don't know. We could talk I don't know. Maybe I'll message Chris Allen and talk about IDing, like, because I know that's like a controversial topic that people think, and like you and I, like, we're used to this type of stuff. Like this is like whatever. Yeah, this has happened in X-Wing since we played X-Wing for the most part, right? Like, I mean, they didn't have IDs, but you know.
Well, they did, and they took them away because it was an issue.
Yeah. Well, then they gave them back to us. So
yeah. Like I don't have any specific issue with IDing. It's a little unsporty, slightly dishonorable, but that's about it.
But yeah. So it was just kind of one of the like I don't know. So like there was some chatter, and I kind of stay out of it because it's just like I don't like if they didn't have IDs and they made you play whatever, that would be fine. Like.
Sure.
The problem is, and this is I think what Chris Allen had talked about before, like one of the ways around the ID issue, or the reason you have it, is because people are going to figure out a way to do certain things that give them the advantage anyway. So why not let's just throw it on the table and move on with our lives, because it's just easier for everybody.
Yeah, because you and I, instead of officially IDing, we just sit there and throw cards at each other for 55 minutes, and neither of us won the first game. Wild.
Yeah, like, oh, you didn't attack any bases, you just sat there and put units. It's like a trench game. But damn it! Like, oh my god, it's like we both play trench.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like it's functionally the same thing, right? And then if you and your opponent decide to like not hit each other's bases for a while, and then everyone else has wins losers, on the people who didn't ID but tied are doing significantly better. So that's a whole nother can of worms there.
Yeah, and so I will say, so we'll kick the podcast off, I guess, tonight. I want a PQ, so there you go. Like, I'll just say it. I don't really like to toot my own horn or any of that other shit, so it's really a weird, awkward thing for me to have this conversation. But I won the PQ in Michigan, so we will talk a little bit about my deck in the run, because we do that. I also throw Alex's deck in there because I think this week we probably will not have enough time to get into a discussion about like meta and stuff like that. Like, we will talk about the meta again. I think the meta is insanely diverse right now. Whether it's good or bad it is what it is. And like, I think PQ season, people get to play pet decks, and like Alex is partially an example of that. He is not one, like, some of it is a good meta call, what Alex brought. Alex brought Ray Blue, so some of it is a good meta call for what he did. But on the opposite side, like, there's lots of people there that were bringing pet decks. Like, I saw like set 5 Anakins there, and I was like, holy crap, like, all right, that's cool. You want to play set 5 Anakin? I like that. Like, that's
the guy who was playing set 5 Anakin, I believe, was talked out of playing his Finn deck.
Oh,
which is even crazier.
All right.
There was a no, he wasn't playing Qui-Gon Green. I mean, there was Qui-Gon Blue, that was Jesselyn, but like, a bunch of other cool stuff. Couple Avar Reds, which is always nice. Couple of my locals.
And I think like that's kind of like that's what PQs are harder meta than like a sector or thing, because you have no way to build a sideboard around every single effing deck, right? And like every deck has like ins and outs better, and because the meta is volatile, it's kind of a little bit of a guessing game, how you want to build that. And we'll get into that because some of my testing partners from Black Vault Syndicate, like we talked through certain what certain cards I included specifically for this style of a meta and what it can do to push through it. Whereas I would never play those cards if the meta was heavy control. Like, that's not what I would be playing. I would be playing something different. So before we get into like the PQ though, I want to talk just real briefly, news and spoilers. Like, we haven't done a Galactics Gazette segment in forever because there hasn't really been a lot of news, but they officially released the sector and regional qualifiers for this set. So none of them are biased.
Not even close.
I don't like, and they're like insanely soon. Like, so even flying to Oregon or to Portland or to Philadelphia, like, plane tickets are more expensive than they would have been a month ago. Obviously we're not going to Spain, so we're just I don't have resources to afford to go to Spain. So if somebody would like to sponsor me to go to Spain, I will happily go play in that. But I do have a passport, but I do not currently have the cost and provisions to afford like a hotel over there and a flight and everything like that. But these are the ones they announced for this set. There is officially one of them is going to be a sealed version of a sealed sector. I think that's the Philadelphia one, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember offhand.
I think it is. I think it's the Philadelphia one. It's not Portland because Matt was talking about going to Portland. So,
okay.
So the Philadelphia one is 100% a sealed meta. So it is what it is, I guess. Like, I think that it would be nice if we had a little bit more options. And I will say it's going to be really weird if FFG said they doubled the amount of sectors and regionals. And just,
I mean, they did, right?
They did.
1 to 2.
Yep, they did. And then all of a sudden now they're all sealed versions of themselves. And it's like, well, all right. Well, that's not doubling in my opinion per se, right? I mean, it is, but yeah, I don't know. So if you are in those areas and you were going, let us know. Like, I don't know. Like, I am 50-50 into the Philadelphia one and probably a 20% to Portland. But Portland, the cost of the flight is like $200. So that's actually not bad if you fly out of Chicago. And that's round trip. So it's kind of, I don't know. I think my wife would kill me if I said, in a month, I'm going to Oregon. Would you like to go? And she would be like, no, because you're not going to play. You're going to play cards all day. And I'm like, yes, I am. But they did also release some of the participation ones. So the Yaddles are your participation card for the sectors. And Anakins are for placements. I will say the Yaddle I care a little bit less about. The Anakins I do care about. So I do like those Anakins, and I would play them, especially because I only own 3 Anakins. What's even more exciting is the regional ones, because the participation is a Vader pilot, which, I mean, like, I could use those. That's like, I would like to have that card. That's the... And then they have a really cool Luke, even though Luke's rotating out in a set, so it's a little weird that that's one of the cards.
He can come out next set, and then he wouldn't rotate. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think he is, but he could.
You're right. They could re-release him. That's a very true thing. That would be crazy. If they did, though, I'd be excited if they did. Like,
you know how many of my locals hate Luke now? They're just like, I'm just tired of Luke. He just ruins everything for me because of the amount of people playing Blue Hero by our meta.
Well, I'm not opposed to them redoing Luke or just giving us Luke again. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I still think he's the best legendary from set 1.
Yeah. Yeah, he is just hands down a really good card. So, but yeah, so those are kind of the things. They are bringing back sector and regional packs as well, like they had at Worlds. They are not telling us what's in them. I'm guessing basically instead of you going to the prize wall and getting them, they just made it this way so you can crack packs and trade them. So I think it's cool. I like it. I don't think it's a bad thing personally. Like, I will say it was fun collecting those. You know, I didn't get any black pack cards because I didn't play day 2, but I have all of pack 1, you know, all the silver cards. So I have 1 copy of every one. So the last one was really hard. I had to trade like 3 cards to get a Grand Inquisitor card. So, but I did get it. So I don't know. What do you think, Alex? What do you think about these? I mean, not like either of us are going to these, but
I mean, they're cool. Like, having different art for cards is always really cool. I do kind of like how they keep roughly the same pattern of like the circle there with the lines coming out. So they're always nice. I never had the pleasure of cracking any of those packs yet, but they're really cool.
Yeah. Well, you got to start planning for Worlds next year, Alex, and then we can crack them together. It's a year away. You got a year to save. You can save until next year. So anyway, that was kind of like, I don't know. I thought it was exciting that they kind of gave some of that stuff to us, and you know, I think that it's important, right, to you know, kind of talk a little bit about them. I do, again. I genuinely thought the pack idea is a pretty nifty idea. Like, I do like it fits the theme of the game, and it's like I traded Snoke away, an extra Snoke I had away because I didn't have another card, and I probably got a bad deal because the Snoke went for more money, but I got a full playset. So whoever I traded the Snoke to was very happy I traded on the Snoke. But you know, like, I was just excited to have a like one of each of the cards. Like, that's all I cared about. Like,
that's really cool.
I don't need a playset of it. Like, the Super Laser Blast, I probably could have used a playset of those, because those, like, I actually play those in almost every deck I play. So, like, that would be a little bit more. But I got a playset of the Maces. There you go. So that was the one card I got a playset of, specifically. But let's move on. Let's talk about this weekend's PQ. We'll talk a little bit of a high level at first. We could talk Planning Phase took down a PQ. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of our decks and kind of some of that stuff. I do want to kind of call out some of the top, you know, the winning decks for this weekend. So there was an Anakin Blue, 2 Han Blues, and multiple Boba Data Vaults that all won. Which
one of them is Boba Green, okay? That's not a Data Vault. It's 30
it
health
is.
Yeah.
All right. Man, I should have looked at that list. I wonder what that list is. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that is.
crazy.
I
don't
wonder,
know.
like, I guess they didn't think the 3 health was super worth it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you get a little bit, your card elasticity is a little bit better, right? Like you actually see certain cards more often. But now
Yeah,
you got
it
to make
doesn't.
now you got to make choices. Which cards do you not want to include, right? I hate that.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't look significantly different from like a Bova Data Vault deck, right? So I pulled it up right now. It's roughly equivalent.
Yeah. A Canadian qualifier had a Palpiella take it down. So Alex, I think we need to find these like 20, 30 person qualifiers to take our trench to it.
Yeah, we gotta go to the Alaskan meta.
All
That's
right,
what we gotta do.
if they have an Alaska PQ, we should look at what the costs are for the air travel to go up there. I will 100% go there, if it's cheap enough. I don't want to pay $500 to go to Alaska. Thank you.
Sure.
That doesn't sound like fun, but yeah, we could get there like on Allegiant for like $150 round trip. I'm all for that. Let's go play trench in an Alaskan PQ. People won't know what hit them. They'll be like, where'd you guys come from? And we'll be like, oh, we're from Michigan.
Detroit. Yeah. Yeah.
we just thought we'd come and ruin your day.
We are just here to spread hate.
Another Quinlan. It looks like a couple of Sabines won. Akira ironically won. I don't know who won that one, but Akira won that one. A Kylo Tarkentown, a Poe Data Vault, which I will say, like, I think because of the space meta and like being able to push down some of that force meta a little bit more, because you could go wide in space and not all the force decks have answers for it. I think Poe is a good call. I like Poe Data Vault better than ECL. We covered that list, didn't we, a couple weeks ago? I think we did.
We did.
Yeah,
I also played the Poe ECL in first round, actually.
Yeah. The guy messaged me actually and like was like, oh, that's my list and this is why I did this. So if you watch the video, if you look in the comments, he actually explains the questions we had for it. So then a CAD Tarkentown, or no, a CAD, that's not Tarkentown, is it? Yes, it is. A CAD Tarkentown, and then another Blue Han. So still looks like a pretty diverse meta. I don't know. What do you think, Alex?
A lot of red, green, and blue. Not a lot of yellow, but also like Quinlan, CAD, and like Palp Yellow or things. So it's kind of interesting that, it seems to be a lot of red across the board. Seems to be a lot of green across the board. And then like you just have Hero Blue and like occasionally like a Kylo Tarkentown. I guess Kira in this case too. Which is interesting. I wonder like why, like what schism happened in those card pools that like if you're gonna do blue hero, it should be like with a combination of red and not like a green or any other color, right? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I still like the diversity, although it's kind of what you expect at this point, right?
Yeah, most of these decks are what we would expect. The Palp being up there, I get it's a smaller PQ, so I guess it makes sense, right?
Palp Yellow still does pretty well.
Yeah, which actually, Sam maybe will get me my Palp showcase now. Thank you, for Christ's sake. Like, he didn't even play it. He kept saying he's gonna play Palp, then he didn't play Palp, and I'm like, if I had gotten that showcase, I would have played Palp this weekend. So let's go on. I guess let's talk about RPQ. I will apologize. Normally we kind of do the stats for the week, but the statistics site that we have was not updated when I built the slides today. So I apologize, but like we got enough to talk about, so I think we'll be fine. So this is the PQ that Alex and I went to. So Boba, it was a Boba versus Vader final. We went 3 rounds. It was kind of fun. It was against Staniszewski too, so it's funny because Staniszewski and I get paired up all the time, it seems like. And it's funny, he sat down and he's like, why do you look stressed out already? Like, let's just have a fun game. I was like, all right. I was like, I've lost to you more than I've won to you. How about that, Stanny? So but he's a good guy. We know him from our X-Wing days, and yeah. Ironically enough, we went to dinner earlier that night. It was Subway dinner, but still, we did go and we took a break and we went to dinner and we were talking about the decks and stuff like that. Clinton also brought Boba Data Vault. Jeff was on Ray Data Vault, which we'll talk about that list and why that's probably a good meta call, actually, especially for this PQ. So Ray seems to be a pretty good meta call into if Boba becomes on the rise. And then we had a very unique, I guess it's not super unique, but a decently newer version of Cad Tarkin Town that we had not seen before. That Matt brought and definitely surprised the ever-living crap out of me. So we're going to talk about his deck a little bit too. Another Cad Bane, a Quinlan, and the Boba Data Vault. So all of us were in the top. So I guess, do you want to go through your list first, or do you want to go through my list first?
How do you want to guess we can start at the bottom and build up, right?
Okay. All right, so we'll start with Alex's. Alex, you went 4-2 this weekend, so tell us about your list.
I got 14th. I didn't know what deck I wanted to play the night before. I'm just like, there's a lot of aggro, probably. Boba Data Vault's kind of everywhere. And like Quinlan's and stuff. So I'm like, maybe I can like roll back my Race Security Complex deck and actually finally play it. In person, really. I updated it slightly, but it's roughly the same. So it's Ray Security Complex. That's the one that gives you the shield once per game. And it's got triple Owen Lars, triple Queel. It's so nice that all my cards are blue, so I stop not hitting with Queel anymore. Triple Arc, Restored Arc, triple Yaddle, triple Concord Dawns, triple Village Protectors, triple Yoda, double Size Matters Not, which is such an incredible card. Still love it. Still disgusting. Double Doom, triple Hondo, double Fell the Dragon, triple Takedown, triple Vigilance, triple Graceful Purple, triple Bendu, double Rivals Fall, triple Luke, double Redemption, and double Nebula Ignition. In the side, I have double Confiscate, double Restock, double Equalize, double Perilous Position, and a third copy of Rivals and Redemption. The sideboard is mostly like Confiscates for, like, it does pretty well into pilot decks, but just like more into pilots or like if they're really pushing a bunch of lightsabers or something. The restocks are for mostly control and for Kylo decks, because I can restock their discard pile and tell them to put those 4 cards at the bottom of their deck, which is really funny. Double Equalize for really go wide boards. A lot of it's like faders and stuff. Double Perilous Position for just kind of really annoying leader flip turns, like an Anakin leader flip or something. And the health reduction usually puts them below a threshold of like Takedown or Vigilance. And then Rivals and Redemption for games going a little bit longer. And yeah, it just, if you want to watch people slowly die inside, you can play this deck because it just grinds decks down, and then you just win eventually by swinging for 3 all the time. Yeah, go on.
As I say, yeah, the because I played this too at locals, and then I tried to play this into the meta, into the Han Blue meta, and I didn't like it. It just didn't. I couldn't get it to work in the wider meta personally. But you know, again, I don't have as many reps as you have with this style of deck either, so it's a little bit not quite my style. I will say, like, the size matter, like, that card is hilarious. Like, I put that on Doom before, right? And then like now you can swing in, and now you're a 5/5, right, or whatever, 7/5 or whatever it is, and you just get to swing in. And I had somebody like he was at 1 health, and then somebody used an upgrade removal on the Size Matters, right? And so then it reset his health back up, and then I was like, okay,
now I've got 2 more health.
Yeah, I can't hit you very hard, but I don't get to die now, so I guess more power to me. Like, cool.
I've definitely won games by doing like turn 1 Owen, giving him an experience with Ray, and then turn 2 putting Size Matters Not, and tell my opponent to deal with a 6/6 Restore 2 that gets me a card when it dies on turn 2.
Yep. Yeah, and if they don't have removal,
yeah,
right. Or Yaddle. Yaddle's a really great a pick for that. So
yeah, I mean the Owen one you could do on turn 2, but like You can also do it with Yaddle, right? Because you can give Yaddle the experience token first, because size matters not. Cost 2 if you have a force unit. I've done it in like Ray, just to make her like a 6/6 or a 5/5 and just swing harder.
Mm-hmm.
I've also put it on opponents' units that have 5 damage because they just immediately die, including leaders. It's really convenient. I love size matters not. I wish I can carve out another spot for a third one.
And you just run an extra card in your deck.
It's already a 51. 52 pushes it a little bit. I need board presence for size matters. That's also why I have triple takedown in the deck, because you can size matters not something down to 5 health and take it down. And they both hit leaders. But yeah, this deck is just... I play a Sentinel. It's shielded. I re-shielded, and then I play Vigilance and re-shielded, and then Hondo gives it a shield. And you just like have a very difficult time getting through my board, and then I restore a bazillion things, because all my first turn plays have restore.
Yeah, basically everything but your Sentinel stuff, right?
Yeah, anything that's not the Concord Dawn, the Village Protectors, and I guess like Hondo and Doom, but like they're utility roles. Also, Nebula Ignition's still really fun.
And if you put Dune down, right, people don't know what to do. Like they want to just kill it because it just keeps adding
Dune's such
experience.
A heat magnet, but he's got he's a 3/8 with Ray, so he's kind of tanky. And then if you put a bunch of Sentinels in front of him, it's really hard. Also, like swinging with Bendu and then Nebula Ignition on 7 resources can be very backbreaking. People don't realize that. Like Bendu plays well into this deck because there's a bunch of like mono blue cards that aren't necessarily heroic. So he makes things a lot cheaper. I've done like takedown and rivals in the same turn at 8 resources to clear off an entire board because I swung with Bendu.
Yeah. So it is, like I said, it's a really fun deck to play, like especially if you get with the mono blue. You know, obviously once Vigilance rotates out, if we don't get another Vigilance, I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope they just renew the Vigilances and the Cunnings and the Commands and the Aggressions. Just let us have those cards for the whole life of the game. Like, you don't have to change them. Just keep them all the same.
Switch it up a little bit. Maybe don't do the mill on Vigilance, right?
No, stop it.
I barely ever mill with Vigilance in this deck.
I don't care. Yeah, sure.
I just shield things.
Yeah, but that's this deck. That's not like other decks.
I know. But yeah, this deck just kind of grinds out games more than your opponent typically can do anything with. Or sometimes it just swings really big because you have like an Owen with 3 experience tokens and size matters not, and he's an 8/8.
Yeah.
But I went with this deck because I was expecting a lot of Boba Data Vault, and this usually can take care of it. If I don't want to put it on my base, which I restore a bunch of stuff off of, I have giant units. A lot of them, like Dune being a 2/7, that absorbs a lot of indirect damage. Like I could put like 4 on there and be totally fine that you're not going to be able to kill him for a while. And also, like, it's really good into aggro, and it slows it down in most mid-range decks. Suffers a little bit into, like, really strong endgame decks. But those are not really much in the meta right now. So that's why I brought this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I lost to a extreme endgame deck played by one of my locals with Avar Red. And my other loss was a Quinlan Tarkendown. Just couldn't get the ball rolling on that one.
Yeah, because I think that's what you would have been in contention for top 18 if you had that. So,
yeah, I don't typically lose in the Quinlan Tarkentown decks. So that was a little bit annoying that I lost out on a shot at top 8. But that person also got 9th. Like they bubbled out too. So, maybe if I would have won that one, I still would have not made top 8.
True. Yeah, the bubble was weird.
Yeah, well, you know, when
because of
20 people have 4 wins or whatever, no one got the 5th win until top 8.
All right. So we'll talk about. Do we just do 4th place deck, or do we want to do my deck first?
Just go up. Let's go to 4th place.
All right, so 4th place was Jeff Rand, Ray Data Vault. And again, I think in the same vein that Alex ran Ray, I think Ray Dead of Vault is a good call for a deck to run, especially because it's a fun deck. His deck has some innovation in it that I hadn't seen before with the Grogu's. Though he told me he had Grogu's in it, and then it only had 2, so I didn't see Grogu as much as I thought I would when I had to play against him. This deck can be very nasty. You put down an Alliance Dispatcher, and if you don't kill it, well, guess what's giving you stuff an early churn. So we'll go through the deck real quick. It is 3 Alliance Dispatchers, 3 of the Moisture Farmers, 3 R2D2s, 2 C3POs, 2 Gungis, 2 Mon Mothma, 2 Secret Sage, 2 Spark of Hope, 3 Akbars, 3 Blue Leaders, 2 Grogus, 3 Techs, 3 Village Protectors, 2 Yodas, 3 Resupply, 3 Bright Hopes, 3 Fells, 2 takedowns, 3. I don't. How do you say that guy's name? It's like Terraneka or something like that, right? Is that how you say that? Terran Tac, which is one of my favorite. By the way, I love that card. Like, I know why that's in there. That's one of my favorite cards.
A little bit odd to me seeing 3 main decked. Usually, I would expect that to be a sideboard card, but I also get it if it's a very force heavy meta. Those are really good.
It is, and it's still a 5/5 for 5/2. So you still have it sitting there, as a pretty big threat. Anyway, we also had 3 Rivals Falls, 3 of Kellerans, 3 Lukes, 3 U-Wings, and 3 Home Ones. In the sideboard, there was 3 Restock, 2 Direct Hits, 3 of which I don't even know which
Purgles.
3 Graceful Purgles, and then 2 of the other Purgles.
The Grappling Guardian.
Yeah, there you go. I just know they're Purgles.
Defeat a space unit with, I believe it's 6 or less health.
Yeah, which is great because, in a space heavy meta, that's a great call if you bring that in, and it just kills things. So this deck is, like I said, I think this deck is very, very, very good into a lot of space aggro. It goes decently well into Boba Data Vaults. It can absorb so much damage. Oh my gosh.
Ray does that. But also having Grogu to push it back off is really nice.
Yes. And so when I had to play against Jeff, he did that a couple times where he would put indirect damage on something and then just be able to move it. And it's well, that sucks. And it's same thing with the Bright Hope bounce. He did that more than one time where he put damage on something and then just picked it up with Bright Hope. And it's well, all right, well, that sucks. But yeah, he did. Jeff, I think Jeff did very well. He did take an ID in his last round, and he was the lower seat, so it was a very risky call. But his breakers, the only loss he had was to Staniszewski, and so his breakers were pretty high, which is what kind of pushed him into the bottom end of the people that got into top cut, and yeah, so and like I said, this deck can go wide. This deck can go tall, kind of, right? You basically everything over half that deck you can just give experience tokens to. You can make a Grogu a 3/8 if you want, Yep. Jeff did not do that, but you can make a Grogu 3/8.
It's an interesting choice with the triple Moisture Farmer instead of Owens.
Yep. And I didn't ask him why he had that in there. I just know that he did have the Moisture Farmers in there, and all I know is he upgraded them, and it sucks because if you don't kill the units, they just
they're a massive pain.
It's just like the Owens. I think it might be the extra health because this one had an extra 1 health. I don't know though. So
sure, but it doesn't give you a card, and you have enough force units between the Gungis, the Grogus, the Secretive Sage, the Yodas, the Calorans, the Lukes.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I will tell you, the Kelleran, every time a Kelleran came down, I figured I had to kill it. Which then, as a Boba Data Vault deck, really sets you back.
Strong finisher.
Yep, just sets me back every time I had to kill Kelleran. And same with the text. I don't know if it's just because you and I play, when we play Control and we use tech. I just kill tech. If tech hits the board, I just kill him. I killed tech over a Kelleran. So there you go. I was oh, really? You can't have that tech. Nope. Screw the tech.
I don't want you to have accessing to more resources than you already do, right?
Yeah.
I see a tech. I'm just oh well, it's dead now. Well, you forced me to use my takedown or whatever, but
yeah. I do like the Spark of Hope choice. Like I do actually kind of like that as an option. Like Hero Green doesn't always have like a million ramp options, but I mean you're putting all these units in there, and then what happens when you get tech out? You can just bring them back out, right? So like you kill a village protector, you can use Spark of Hope, put a village protector in your row, and then be able to bring it back out with tech.
Yeah. Like Spark of Hope with tech is pretty nice, but I don't know, man. I still feel like Spark of Hope's so situational because it's not like you're playing it typically on like turn 2, right? It's more of like a mid game play when you trade one of your units up. So it's like you are paying 2 to ramp, but it's also like, I don't know, mid game I'd rather kind of do other things. But if it's like turn 4 or whatever and Spark of Hope and you can bring out Ray a turn early, that's not bad.
Yeah, he did that. So so like that was the thing. Like I mean, I don't disagree with the Spark of Hope play personally. I like it. I do agree with only having the 2 in there. I don't know if I'd want 3 for it, but I do like the Spark of Hope.
2 is just so far spread out in the deck that it's kind of a little irrelevant over 3, but.
And I like the Space Purgle, though I think I probably would have main decked those over the Terraneka guys, like, and put those to the side. But that's just me, and that's just because, like, I would want the extra Sentinel health, and, like, I could tell you, like, those Purgles are a pain to kill, especially when Grogu's out. You do have Bright Hopes, yeah. You do have Bright Hopes,
that's like
but
roughly filling it. I'd put in, like, the Grappling Guardians in over the Terran Tactics just for a little bit extra, like, kind of space things. Maybe have like 2 tech, 2 Terran Tactics, and 2 Grappling Guardians.
I can see that.
Just for a little bit more toolboxy thing, because like, again, triple tech seems kind of strange to me in a raid deck. Like it's nice to have for like the end game when you're pulling out some kill things or whatever. It just, I don't know.
You know what? It made me think every time I had like a Vader in hand or a Maul in hand, I had to be very careful because like if he had enough resources to be able to play that, plus or if he had enough resources with Kellerin on the board, like it can be pretty nasty to deal with, right? Like I'm happy it doesn't have a Rebel thing on it or something crazy like that. Thank God you can't pull it for that, but. I don't know. I like this list. It's not my personal play style. I don't think I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a raid player. Maybe that's just what it is. Like I like the blue. I like a little bit better. I did try to play this before, and it's just I don't know. It's not the style of control I enjoy playing personally, but it makes sense for Jeff
to control.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he played it very controlly, at least against me. So
I mean, yeah, sometimes like because I got some like not like pushback, but a little bit of just like, man, Ray blew that control, and I'm just like, well, no, you're playing aggro, so I have to control your stuff right now. That's why I'm playing it like a control deck. I don't have to play it like a control deck if you're not playing aggro, but in the current matchup, I have to do this, and I feel like that's kind of the same with the Ray deck.
Yeah, and I'll say those Akbars, super awesome. I love those Akbars. Those Akbars got me more times than you can imagine.
You can let him have that many space units?
No. He got them. I have ground units in my deck.
Sure. Okay.
And sometimes I put Boba on the ground, so I just want that 4 extra damage, and I didn't need to kill. I like putting them in a spaceship for you to just There's no confiscate in this list, so like I didn't worry about the confiscate piece of it at least. Like. Like the Rival's Fall does work though, but you can kill either one. But yeah, if you had a Space Sentinel, I'll just put Bulba on the ground. I guess I'm not going to do the 4 damage to your ships, but I'm just going to swing in and do an extra 4 damage to base. So, I don't know. Moving on to the 3rd place. This was Clinton's deck. Obviously, it's a Boba Dadavolt deck too. So there was 3 of us in the top 8. So.
God, I would have loved to play any of you guys.
Alex, you want to cover this list, I guess?
Yeah, Clinton's deck. Oh, man. I don't remember what episode we had Clinton on, but it was definitely like under 10. We had him briefly on for just talking Vader stuff, so glad he's still on green-red villainy. That warms my heart. Yeah, so this is a Boba Dadavolt. And this has double salvage, triple of the FO Stormtrooper, triple Legion General Pride, only double HK-47, breaks my heart, triple Kylo Silencer, triple TIE Bomber, triple Disabling Fang, triple Droid Missile Platform, one prototype TIE Advance, the 4-3 vanilla for 3, triple Super Laser Tech, triple Open Fire, triple Resupply, double Fast Fire Spray. It's interesting. Double IG-2000, double of Krennic Shuttle, triple the Dorian Gunship. I know you added that in your deck lately. Triple Overwhelming Barrage, one Craving Power, double Vader Pilot, triple Ruthless Raider, triple Planetary Bombardment, triple Maul, triple Red Devastator, and one Palpatine. In the side, you have triple Aggrieved Parliamentarian, a single Prepare for Takeoff, a second TIE Advanced Prototype, double Palp's Return, a second Emperor Palpatine, and double Great Dragon.
Yeah, so our lists are similar. Mine, when we get to mine, there's some notable differences. I'm very surprised at the two Fetz Fire Sprays. I don't know, like I think that'd be an auto-include at 3. That card just does work all the time. Like if I have that in an IG and I don't need to play IG to do the damage, I play a Fetz Fire Spray every single time. Like, kill the stupid thing. Come on. If you don't, I'm gonna put Boba in this baby, and
it's a disgusting thing. Like it comes down and does, indirect damage.
Yeah.
Usually 3 because you trigger Boba off of it.
Yeah.
It does that for every attack. It's like functionally swinging in for 6 if they have no units.
Yeah, it's dirty. It's not a broken ship, folks, but it's
very good in this
very
deck.
Good.
It's very designed for Boba Fett for a reason.
Yeah. I'm very confused on the Prepare for Takeoff. I do not understand that card. I guess I'll have to ask him why he was running it. I talked to the other top 8 opponent that I had to play against that was running Boba Data Vault, and he had the prototype TIE Advance as well, and it was so he could jam more physical bodies into space that had a higher hit count. So I don't have a problem with it personally. It just doesn't work well with the, I don't know,
it seems fine, but something you'd end up cutting for other better cards. To me,
that's how I saw it. It was something in Europe that we had seen, people were running that in the Europe version. I did test it. And sure, if they can't kill it, it's great.
It's extra 4 damage, but
it was the same with the droid platform. If you kill it, I get 3 damage out of it at least. That's the difference. Yeah. I know it's only a 1 of in here and 1 of in the sideboard. I don't see it I don't see it as a worthwhile card personally.
I have those in my Von Reg deck, and they're good in that Von Reg deck because I could shove Von Reg there next turn and. It's solid in that. I just don't usually see it. Also, what do you think of the Krennic shuttles, the ST-149 or whatever that is? Did you like those?
I did not.
Okay.
I tested it. I know what it's there for. I do not like them. I do understand why it's there because it was a lot for mirrors and stuff like that.
Sure.
Because you could flip Boba into it. It always has a shield, and unless you trade a ship into it, it's in a mirror you don't. You have to be very careful what you trade in, and so you basically have to trade 2 ships into that thing to get rid of the shield. So in that essence, it's great, and it lives a lot longer. I did not find that it fit my play style for how much I wanted it in there compared to other things. I guess.
Yeah.
I would rather spend 4 resources on something else. That's that was just the thing. That was my thing. I think it's a great card. I actually run that in my I run it in my Vader deck now. For the same reason.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's for the same reason. And it allows you to steal, shields when it dies sometimes. Very rarely,
or experience or something.
Or experience it. But it does happen once in a while. It does happen. And in this deck, in this meta, it makes a little bit more sense. Like against a Ray or something like that, you could steal an experience token and put it on something else. But I just don't count on that type of stuff, especially with this deck. My goal is to just aggro you out and give. I just want to burn you to the ground. I did not find it impactful enough to play it main deck or even sideboard. But I don't think it's a wrong call. But again, it just doesn't lend to my, it's not lending to what the deck's trying to do. That's all. What do you think about it?
That's why I was asking you, because I'm like, that seems a little bit out of place, and like I can kind of see why it's there, but I also feel like, man, that can also be your third copy of Fet's Fire Spray.
It can, yeah.
Or your second Craving Power.
Yep.
Or something like that. So that's my main thought. Again, it just seems like it's fine, it's solid. It's just I would kind of cut it for something better, kind of like the tap.
Yeah, it's just not. I just found it didn't push my end game, and that 4 resource spot. Well, when we get to my deck, I'll explain why a little bit more, because my 4 resource spot I played differently than like a lot of people did. I didn't just jam a shift down half the time. So that's part of the reason why my deck has some other 1 cost cards that I would play. So
yeah.
So anyway, neat deck. The salvage main board is also a choice. I tested salvage main board, and it was 50-50. Like sometimes it worked really well.
Complaining about force throw. You can just toss your salvage.
You're right. I didn't care about force. I just said screw it. I'm not gonna play around this whole force throw thing and just hope.
What is that? You didn't care about force throw? Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah. And you know what the first deck I played against was an Anakin blue, so there you go. And I got pillaged and force throwed. So
yeah, he was main decking those pillages. I ended up playing him in the last round.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Nice guy. He was very fun to play with. We talked. We had a jolly old good time when we played. But yeah, it's like I understand the logic of the salvage, but main decking it, I just didn't get enough out of it personally. All right, we'll move on to second place, Staniszewski. Alex, you want this deck too?
Sure, I guess that would make sense if I took it, right?
Yeah, unless you want to cover my deck, you cover my deck.
That'd be kind of weird. It's okay. Yeah, so good old Ryan Staniszewski here in second place. Tragic, only 35 points instead of something like 50, because that would make more sense, but whatever. He's playing Vader Yellow. He's been on this for a while. Not super shocking, a little bit just trying to innovate here and there. So he's got triple the Droid Starfighter, that's the 1/2 Saboteur ships. Triple First Order TIE Fighter, triple the Mining Guild TIE, triple Republic Y-Wing, a single Soulless one, which I guess is very fitting for the name. Triple TIE LN, 1 Victor 2. Which one is that? Like Backstabber? No, smaller.
That's smaller. Yep.
Yeah. Double No Good to Me. Double Eager Escort Fighter. Double Elite P-38s. Triple the Sanctioner Shuttle. Triple 7 Fleet Defender. Triple Stolen Hauler. Triple Victor Leader. Double Outmaneuver. Double Waylay. Triple Clone Combat Squadron. Triple the Krennic Shuttle. Double Geonosian Patrol Fighter. And then triple Overwhelming Barrage. In the side, you have double Confiscate, double Swoop Down, double Bazine, a third No Good to Me, and then triple Lurking TIE Phantom. I mean, yeah. It's a very solid, very good Vader Yellow list.
Yeah. We did talk a little bit about the OB, because I am off OB and Vader. I completely cut it. I run 3 Outmaneuver in its place instead of the triple OB. It's just, I felt like it became a win more. I will tell you, it did save Ryan at least twice from dying early against me. He still lost 2 of the games, but it did help him a couple of times, especially one time clearing my Boba on the ground. But yeah, this is a the Soulless one came out of Yako's testing, and if they don't know what Soulless one does, and you have a droid starfighter, and it's like if you have 3 ships out, right? Like, okay, one of the great opening plays is a Soulless one and a droid starfighter, and then you play into like the Sanctioner shuttle to steal their unit, and just hope they don't kill your other guy. But you can exhaust that and use it as the extra damage to base.
You net 1 extra damage by exhausting a droid starfighter.
Yes. And so it's a little cheeky, but it was something that kind of went into the testing, and it's a great card for like a 1. Yeah, you just need another 1 drop. It's got 2 health. It fits the bill People don't like that. I was playing that Forged Starfighter. Like that's what I was playing in this place, but it makes sense. The Eager Escorts. I like the inclusion of the Stolen AT haulers. Those are a pain in the ass in this deck. I don't care what anyone says. They against control, just throw them out the door. But especially when you're playing against a lot of other aggro, those ships
no,
are
you
great.
leave them in for control in case they misread no
the
glory
card.
only results. Yeah, and then they no glory it, and then you play it out of your own discard pile.
Well,
easy.
Hopefully people aren't doing. Maybe they're doing that, but I don't know.
It happens more than you might expect.
So I played 2 Vader yellows actually yesterday. So yeah, I'm off OB. I guess I could see OB going into the sideboard. I'm not sold on the swoop down either as much anymore. I did test the swoop downs and I do have them in mind, but I don't know. And kind of the one-off Victor too is, I mean, I understand the logic. It's a great, if you don't have anything else, it's a great play to put on the ground to spoof your opponent sometimes, and it can be a good. I need to play to get an extra body, for something. I've done that before where I put it on like a clone combat squadron, and then like people still want to kill it, but now it's like, well, now I'm going to put Vader on something else. So now you got to pick. Do you want to kill my Vader ship or do you want to kill this clone combat? Like they're both going to do similar amounts of damage. Pick your poison,
But I want to double dip.
That's risky, man. That's a risky play.
I agree.
He's using the correct base of Coronat City. I do not use it. I have a fancy hyper foil of one of the yellow bases, Jabba's
Palace, right?
So I use that just because it's a hyper foil, but he is
real
technically
question
correct.
Is, did you buy that Twin Suns box, or did you just buy the card?
I bought the Twin Suns box.
Specifically for Twin Suns, obviously, and not for the card by itself.
Yeah. Well, it's got my Jabba in it.
Yeah.
So. No, I wanted a yellow. I have a yellow and a black Twin Suns box actually. It's actually what I use in tournaments now because they have extra space in there, and I feel like my deck goes into it easier, and I could put my little I could put my force tokens and all my other fancy stuff in there and not feel constrained. But other than that, this is this is the standard Vader yellow that you pretty much see almost anywhere. I think the most expensive card on this whole deck is the Stolen AT haulers, and not by much. So I think you could buy this deck for like under $50 or something like that. Maybe not even 50.
Me. Well, the Victor leaders are a little bit expensive, but they're also rare, so they're not crazy.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to my deck. I took first place, and we'll talk about the drama of the draws that Alex told me I was a cheapskate for doing. My Boba red deck, so I will give credit to Eric where credit is due. I put Daring Raid in main board. 100%. That was an Eric call that we made on Wednesday before the tournament. As an addition, it felt very heavy it felt very heavy event-wise compared to other ones, but I don't know. I guess I'll go over the deck and we'll talk about like the run and stuff like that. So I have 3 First Order Stormtroopers, 2 Daring Raids, 3 General Prides, 3 HK-47s, 3 of the TIE Silencers, 3 TIE Bombers, 2 Force Choke, 3 of the Fang Fighters, 3 of the Droid missile platforms, which is funny. Can we just call them They're just the HMP card.
Yeah, they're the Roombas.
Yeah, 3 of the Super Laser Techs, 3 Open Fire, 3 Resupply, 3 Boba's Fett's Fire Spray, 2 of the IG 2000s, 3 of the Dorian Gunships, 3 OB Overwhelming Barrages, 2 Craving Power, 1 Darth Vader, 3 Ruthless Raiders, 3 Planetary Bombardments, 3 Mauls, 3 Devastators, and 2 Pelps, which I did play my fancy Pelps. So I finally have a deck I could play my fancy Pelps in.
That's the more important thing.
100%, yes. And then my sideboard, I have 2 Salvage, 2 Grenade Strike, 3 of the Palpatine's Return, 1 lonely reinforcement walker, which we'll get to that in a minute because I'm very sad by that. But
I'm shocked there's only 1.
And then 2 crate dragons. So I am running a 62 card deck. I'll just flat out. I think it's 62 cards. It's either 61 or 62.
It's 62.
Okay. And it was because I could not decide what to cut to put the Daring Raids in. So I originally was on 1 Vader and 1 or 2 Vaders and 1 Craving, and I flip flopped it because of the fact that people have upgrade hate, and by the time I get to play Vader on the ground, if I don't play it as an upgrade, it's very sad because then like they just Rivals Fall it or Fell the Dragon it, and then like it's just a worthless card in a lot of matchups. So I found the Craving Power to unfortunately just be better, and it is not as good as an Overwhelming Barrage, but it is super awesome to flip Boba, then play a Craving Power to kill something, and then be able to actually swing in like every turn for that extra 2 damage. Like it's got like, again, like when Overwhelming Barrage rotates, Craving Power will be like a main staple in Green Villain.
It also like kind of uniquely works really well with Boba, because if you put Boba on a spaceship, you can spread the damage around as well and then do the Craving Power afterwards. So like you kind of get a little bit of the spread that you normally get with OB.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. That's very true. Yep. And what it did is it helped you if they had like, okay, I'll just tell you, it was for a Cad Bane flip. If I was able to, if they could not take care of and they had flipped before I had flipped, I was able to you could do the 4 damage to Cad Bane, and then you could put the Craving Power on and just kill their Cad Bane, just flat out. Or a Rey. Like it was also for like the Reys that, even though Rey only has 6 health, like Rey does get that other experience token that she can give to herself. And if you can't kill Rey, you do not win this game. Like with this deck, like if Rey is on the board, you don't win. So Rey has to go. It's weird not playing Vaders in this deck either. Like I like the Maul better though, just because the Maul again kills almost everything. Yeah.
And the overwhelm damage is actually like ways to sneakily win games, because people don't like think about that really. So if they have like a ground unit and you just, here's the Maul, I win in the overwhelm.
Yep. And that's actually what won me the second Raid Adavolt game, because he couldn't keep the Sentinels down enough, and he like had enough low health units that Maul just went and overwhelmed. So like you was spreading the indirect damage out, and then the Maul just was like, there's like 4 or 5 overwhelm damage, and Maul still lives. So if you don't kill it, he's gonna swing next turn. So you better kill it. And Palpatine just. I originally was running, by the way, I was running 2 of the Reinforcement Walkers main deck. That's what I was doing. And I started playing Palpatine and said, I got fancy Palpatines and I just want to be able to spread the damage a million times more. So I chose Palpatine over the Reinforcement Walkers this time. I could tell you the Crate Dragons came in and they almost never did anything. So
that's sad.
I was able to win almost enough games that the Crate Dragons just didn't matter. So I wouldn't cut Crate Dragons, but I would rather have had when I did use the Reinforcement Walker, it was better than a Crate Dragon. So yeah, so I chose to go with the grenade strike was just a little bit of extra space aggro tech in case I didn't get something turn 1. The salvages and the Pal's returns was because I believe there would be more pillage decks or decks that use vigilance to discard my deck. That's what my theory was, and they were not needed very often. I think I used a Palp's return once. And I used the salvage. I did use the salvages and the Pal's returns against the Anakin deck I played, so that was relevant. But they were really genuinely for like the Han matchups, because a lot of Hans are putting pillages in the sideboards now, and so you can just strip their hand. They can strip your hand with the force throws and the pillages, and like this deck doesn't do well when it doesn't have 2 cards in hand. So there was that. And Eric gets credit for the daring raids. They were a way to trigger Boba for the extra indirect damage on turn 1 if you wanted it. And it was a way to be able to take care of anything that had 2 health pretty quickly. And I did use it more than one time to win games, actually. Being able to, if they have no units on board and you do the 2 damage and trigger your Boba, and you got a third, it was like like 1 cost 3 direct damage to their base. Which is pretty powerful, actually. So
who would have known?
Yeah, they were definitely MVP, and I would almost consider 3. Almost. I'm very tempted to. And what we originally were going to take the force chokes out, and I was like, man, if you see a Sabine though, you want force choke. So, I don't know. I will tell you the HKs also were MVPs, especially against go wide decks. So I do not know why. Like, I did side them out against, like, I think I sided it out against Jeff. No, I didn't side those out against Jeff either. I don't think I sided those out actually at all. I only sided out Allegiant Prides actually almost the whole day. They were the only thing that I sided out when I didn't get to go first. So, but those HKs, like, I'm happy I have 3 because I was a little worried I didn't have 3, and they just come in handy. Like, it's just they screw the math up a lot, and that's why I like them. Is they really make the math so much harder for people to do, because it's like, now you got to do a damage to base. Now you got to do a damage to base. Yep, your guy died. Yeah, you get to play Luke, but you do a damage to base. You know, like that type of a thing. So,
and you were so down on them.
I was. You're right. I was 100%. But they're great. This deck, they're amazing. And it's funny because when I was testing Vader for this PQ like 3 weeks ago, that's what I was on, and I was pretty determined I was just going to take Vader. And I played against some Boba decks, and I just was getting stomped, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was like that HK, like when they were able to play, they had an HK down and they played an IG 2000 and it wiped your board. Oh, that's 3 damage to base. It's like, so they stayed in. So I don't think I sided them out much the whole day. They just are really good. The only card I really genuinely did not like most of the day was the TIE Bombers. Honestly, like, I wish I had a different card that could go in that spot. But because people could just ambush into them and kill them, and you're just sad because it doesn't do any damage back to them. But they're great Tarkin Town fodder. How about that? Like,
sure.
If people want to Tarkin Town my TIE Bomber, I was okay with that. So I guess we could talk a little bit about. So my first matchup that I had was against an Anakin Blue. I 2-0'd that matchup. The second game was a little bit more pushy just because he used the pillages, but because he used pillages and stuff like that, he didn't build a board presence. And so it was a little harder to take down my things. And then, you know, I prioritized ramp and Maul. So you put Anakin down, Maul, and I just use Maul. So I love Maul. I think Maul's my favorite card.
Really, really good.
And so I did that. The second game the second round I played against a Sabine, and the first game went pretty my way. They ECL'd something early, which they should. I think people got to. I think he ECL'd incorrectly the first game, and that cost him because I don't know what he ECL'd into, but he ECL'd something like turn 2 or 3, and to stop me from being able to do things, and I just was able to push more damage. And I was able to clean up his Sabine pretty quick. The game 2, I lost that one because he was able. I don't know if he ran Chewie's main deck or not, but he had 2 Chewies and 2 Yoda's lightsaber. So you put a Yoda's lightsaber down on his one unit, and I killed the unit, and then all of a sudden he had enough resources to play second Yoda's lightsaber on Sabine, and I could not stop her, and I could not stop the Chewbacca. Like, you can use Fang Fighter against some of that stuff, but it's just very hard. It was very hard.
That only goes so far, right? You still have to draw that whole deck.
And you only got 3 of them. So, and I'm not running confiscates at all. So, the second game it did not go my way. The third game, because I was able to bring the General Prides back in, and then it's just like, you have to kill General Pride, or I'm going to just.
Or you're blowing up all those upgrades.
Yeah, and it just worked out very well. I was able to build a pretty big board presence, surprisingly enough. Again, he ECL'd in early, and I just think, like, all it did was make it so that I didn't have to worry about record play. I have no idea if he ran records or not because he never played one. But I never worried about it. Like, he did have pose, and that was a problem that had to be dealt with. But outside of that, like, I just flipped Boba on the ground, killed the Poe with something else, and then, swung Boba in the base. So that was game 2. Game 3, I played Matt. Yeah, I played Matt my third round, and that was the Cad Bane Tarkin Town 1-drop deck, and I had no idea how to play against it the first round, and got my ass kicked. And then the second round, or the second game, I had a little bit more control of his units and was able to push enough indirect damage that we went to game 3 pretty quickly. And then that game 3, I think it came down to one action. I think we were pretty even for the most of the game, and then there was one action where I just was able, that again, Daring Raid and Devastator type stuff just is able to push through. But that deck can win before I can get to Devastator, I found out. Mm-hmm. It can control your... It's actually similar-ish to this type of style of deck, except for it has... The top end is not there. It's all low-end stuff, but you have the card draw with the stupid Bounty Hunter ship, the Mist Hunter, right? And it's like it helps you tutor through your deck pretty quickly. And so I'm actually pretty high on that deck. And that deck is... We'll get to that deck in another segment, but that deck's a consideration for me as an individual.
Yeah, it's a cool deck.
I really do like that deck. And then my 4th round, I played against a gentleman that was also 3-0, and he was playing Vader Yellow. And I think he made a misplay in game 1 because he tried to waylay a ship that had my leader on it, and you can't do that. And that was a misplay. Okay, all right, you're right. If it's Poe, sure, you can do that, but you cannot do that to Boba. And I just ramped against him because I didn't have enough to control his board at first, and then I was able to flip Boba a turn earlier, and then he couldn't do anything. He should have waylaid my other ship, but he chose to swing into base so he could get his extra tie. And then because he thought I flipped Boba, he then can waylay it. He couldn't, so I cleared his board almost completely, and then he couldn't do the waylay. And that pretty much just churned game 1 through the roof. That was just, it was over very quickly.
Tough to recover from that.
Yeah. And game 2 was kind of similar. He had a little bit more board presence game 2. So it did lend itself for him a lot more to be able to do that. But I had OBs and cravings, and I have a Vader unit that can go on ships too, and there's just a lot that I can do, and I think the biggest misplay the second game was, again, I had Fang Fighter and I know how to play against Vader, so I just hold my Fang Fighter, and it's just if you are gonna do this and you haven't figured out I have a Fang Fighter, I'm just gonna kill your I will do everything in my power to kill your Vader. I do not care if I still lose the game. I killed your damn Vader. And I was able to get his Vader that game. And so that game went pretty quickly as well. But he also was not running the same deck to Tanazuski. He still had a couple of the 2-drops in there. And I think that hurt him more because of some of the one time he played the 2-drop, it's that one ship that does it's 1/1 and then it creates another tie, which was great when we were first learning the deck. But after I could swing a ship into it and still live. Yeah. And that's not a good trade value, it's really not. So then here came so then after that we were 4-0. We did some math and we figured out there was only 15 3-1s left, and basically there's 2 rounds left. And so if you take that and cut them in half each round, plus us, it came down to the fact that the 4 of us that were 4-0 could ID both rounds and still make top cut. Yeah. So we did. Yep. So we did that. And which was funny because it was me and Sanazuski and the Boba Fett player, the other Boba Fett, one of them, not Clinton, but the other gentleman. I can't remember his name now. A really nice guy. It was his birthday. And he's in our Discord. He's in the Discord too. I wish I could remember his name.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
I've spoken to him. I played games with him at RAW. And I just don't remember his name because I'm really
Dante.
bad with Nate. Dante.
It's Dante. I think it's Dante.
Yes.
So, and he was a really nice guy. And so we talked. It was funny because when we were sitting for round 4, and he was like sitting down the table from me, I was like, we're going to get paired into each other next round. It's like the laws of the Boba Fett players. We're going to get stuck paired into each other. And then when we were able to ID, we were paired into each other. So it was nice that we were able to ID so we didn't have to face each other that round. But then, so we ID'd for round 4 or 5 and 6, and then Top Cut came, and I got paired up with the Boba Default guy. I got paired up with Dante. And his deck was closer to the other guy's deck. He was running those shuttles. And game 1, he made a misplay because he activated his Devastator, but he'd already used his Boba trigger for that round and was like some damage short, and I was able to close the game out because of that. And if he had not used that, I think he would have won that game. And then the second game, he just didn't see enough of his stuff that stopped everything. So he just wasn't able. It was a very, very close games. And that second game, he was very close right along with me. I don't think either of us were more than 5 or 6 damage away each game from damage on base. So they were very equally matched. But it's who sees Devastators and who sees Planetaries. Right. It's really what it is. And I don't think he saw a Planetary, or he didn't play one.
Well, he's got 3 in his deck, so
yeah, I don't think he played one either game. So
he main decks double wolf.
He did, yep, and that was
that's pretty cool.
He wanted the turn 1 damage and to churn off any healing. That was what they were there for, I guess. And I said, kudos to you. His wolf did not do anything in our game, though.
Yeah, right.
Didn't matter. Like, I'll trade my Allegiant Pride into your wolf any day of the week. I don't care. But yeah, so that was kind of that was the big thing of that. So those were some fun games. I will tell you, this mirror match is a lot funner to play than a Vader mirror match, just flat out. Or a Han Blue mirror match. This one's so much better because like this one is not predicated solely on what you get, but it is a little bit, but not as much as like the Force throws.
Yeah, the whole segment of saying who sees Devastator Planetary first.
True. All right, but
it's a little bit more fun and interactive than Han mirrors, I'm sure.
It's a million times more because we're each just like who throws indirect damage. And I'll make a statement, and I will not say I'm correct, but I will say that my Daring Raids 100% gave me an edge in those games, like because it's a 1 cost removal for his ships, and it helps with the indirect, and like I was able to use it as a very cheap removal. Like I was able to use open fire and Daring Raid in 1 turn. So
6 damage.
Yep, and it does what it needs to do. But Dante was a really nice guy. I felt bad because it was his birthday, so it's like, well, I can't concede to you yet. I was like, if I had a PQ win already, I would have. It's been like, yeah, here you go, man, you can have it. And then the next round I played Jeff, which we already covered. His list was the Ray Data Vault. The first game, he definitely probably should have won that game. He should have played his home 1 first, because then he would have been able to start swinging in for healing, and he did not play his home 1 first, and I think he forgot that Devastator can do the indirect damage how you want it. So I was able to Devastator and play a Daring Raid all in 1 turn. So that was 5, 6, 7 damage, 7 damage just directly to base.
7 targeted, yeah.
And that's the only reason I won that game. Like, other than that, he had a whole board on the other side that was like, yep, I better win this quick because I don't know what's gonna happen. And then the second game, I was able to ramp, and he did not get ramp right away. So that made a pretty big difference because I was able to maul his Ray pretty much easily, and by the time I hit the 8 resources, there was enough damage on base that it wasn't as big. I did have a choice at the end on which I wanted, what I had to play to win it, but I think mostly it probably was over the round, that round before, but he also somewhat like the loot scene, he didn't see his loots like this, like I would have expected him to have. Like the first game, he saw Kellerans and Lukes and all sorts of crazy stuff. The second game, he didn't see as much of that. And I think that affects, if you don't have the bodies to absorb the indirect, right? It does affect things. The best play is the Bright Hope. That's the best play is put a Bright Hope down and pick that stupid Village Protector up that you gave an experience to. That's the best is like he puts a Village Protector, puts the experience on it. You could swing in for your 3 damage, right? Now you're still sitting there, put your indirect on it, play a Bright Hope, and then pick it back up. I was like, oh, That sucks for me. And then you get to play it shielded again next turn. And he did that. And that's a genius move. Great. Like, I never, when I was playing, never thought about that ever. Like when I played Han Green, I never thought about just doing, not Han Green, the Ray Dataval. When I was playing Ray, I'd never thought about that. Being able to just pick it back up and stick it back down. Never thought.
Yeah, it's very important plays in those things.
Yeah. And then my finals were against Staniszewski. The first game I played, I did not see anything turn 1 at all to play after a mulligan, and turn 2, the most I had was to play a super laser tech that I couldn't kill. So there was that. So I lost the game 1 pretty handily, basically by the Vader flip. I wasn't able to come back. He was able to actually push damage and control the board at that point in the game. Then game 2 was a lot closer, and I was just able to. Because I know what the Mining Guild ties do. I prioritized killing them so he wouldn't have the hand draw. And I think people just have to do that if you're playing against Vader. Like, you have to do that. I also killed his whatever ship. I can't remember what that ship's name is. The stolen AT hauler, and just never took it back out of the graveyard. I just left it there because it's like, I don't want you to steal it back, and it's a wasted action, it feels for me. And so I was able to get ramp off and control his board pretty easily that game. And then the third game we played, I was able to keep control, and then towards the end, we don't know if it was 100% a misplay, but we believe it is he flipped his Vader and then OB'd off the Vader on the ship to kill my Boba. And I had a Fang Fighter in hand, so I just was able to kill his Boba, and his ship was already exhausted. What he should have done is put Vader on the ground, I think, and then OB'd off that, and then been able to swing in, because it would have been an extra 7 damage that he could have done. And he went home and did all the math, I guess. And I guess in the long run, I think I still win by 2 or 3 points because I had a Maul in hand, which would have taken care of him the next turn and stuff like that. So I had answers, but I resourced them all after the Vader was gone. So like I was like I said, I don't need Maul anymore. But that game was won through indirect damage, essentially. Like I just was able to control the board enough and keep the units that he could absorb it on off. But I also play Vader, so I don't know. Like I felt that was a better matchup. I didn't actually tech a lot for that. Like the only cards I brought in were the grenade strikes for that matchup. That was it. Nothing else. So yeah, and Staniszewski's a great guy. I love that guy. I love hanging out with him a lot. We went to a PQ together in Indiana that we probably won't do again, but we did do that, and that was fun. And they were all close games. I think most of my opponents, we had pretty close games. I will say, if you want to play this deck, this is a lot more of an aggro-ish version. And I will tell you, the Dorian gunships, I don't know who thought to put that in there, but that's a better card than the MC30s. I'm just gonna stay it now. It fits your indirect game. It has the extra health. It can't be taken down. It can't be felled. It can't be felled. Like it's really a great card.
We had it in there for a bit, but we ended up taking out the Dornians. But that might just be because there was so much like space stuff at the time in JTL that they weren't as good. But also that was from like a Vader Yellow perspective, so maybe that's why that changed.
Yeah, I don't like it in Vader Yellow quite as much, but it is cool. Like getting it off in a Vader Yellow if you have a full board is amazing. But
sure,
that I find that doesn't happen in Vader Yellow enough.
But it's so hard to give out the MC30s when they just swing for 10 with Overwhelm, though, right? So
it is. I won't lie and tell you that, but I can tell you when no blue player could kill that ship just outright like that without a rival's fall, it felt really good. You know, and
That's
again,
what the
like
perilous position is for.
that's true. If you did that, I would cry a little bit. I don't think Jeff had perilous position in his deck, so
Nobody's running it anymore.
I
But
run it.
That's why I run it in my sideboard for things like that, where it's just like, oh, that's just kind of annoying. Let's just exhaust it now and then modulate its health for thresholds. Because like you just do that to a Quinlan, you can play takedown on him next turn, and everything's fine. Or like, you know, a lot of 5 health things, you could just vigilance now, and kill it for 3.
Yeah. So I like the deck. I would highly recommend it. I think with me and a couple other people getting Boba wins, I think this will be teched against a little bit more. I was scared this weekend that it would be teched against, and it was not teched against hard enough, in my opinion. So I guess the Han Blues are like a pretty good counter to this too. Like, this deck does not like Han Blue very much.
My deck feasts on those. I teched for it.
Thanks. I'm glad we didn't play each other then.
Well, we didn't discuss what we were playing really either. I text you the morning of, where I'm just like, yes, I ended up on Ray.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I guess I didn't purposely. I'll be honest. I did not submit my deck until 10 o'clock that morning. So, just as an FYI, that was. I literally decided this deck is the deck I was going to run at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it was over. I had this one, Quinlan, Vader, and Iden all sleeved up, ready to go. And I chose this one probably because it's red-green villain, and it's the 33 health base that lets me have 10 extra cards in it, and I like that. So, because my other option was Iden. That was really the higher consideration was Iden. I just was worried there would be too much aggro. So,
which is what I was hoping for as well. Damn it!
You got aggro. You just didn't get to play it all. You didn't get to play any of the Bobas, actually. So
I know I didn't get to play a lot of the stuff that I was really hoping to play. I mean, like I played like a Sabine Data Vault though, so it's a little bit aggro. Poe ECL that has no chance into this. I actually played a Green Han 2 who actually placed higher than me. I think him and me and Santazuski were his only losses. And those were just, I was initially a little bit worried because like super late game stuff, but just didn't care. Turns out Owen attacking for 6 is just like enough to win games.
Yeah, it can be, right? Yeah, it's a middle finger. I'm going to resort to and give you a middle finger. So
yeah, Ray Blue's really good when they're playing single units. So when he's like, I drop Green Yoda, and I'm just like, Fella Dragon, direct hit. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're all doing functionally the same thing. Nebula Ignition, I did that to the Yoda.
Yeah. And we have that. I actually have those in my Iden deck, the Nebula Ignitions now. So because
Seems a little bit unnecessary, but
not.
It is like a 4th and 5th copy of Super Laser Blast, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's what Tanner has it in there for. It's because I'm playing
for it. It doesn't hit pilots, which
No,
is an issue.
It doesn't. No, but you don't. If you get to that resource churn against a pilot deck, you usually are losing by then, so you don't care. If I have to wait till 9 resources and I didn't get to ramp, So that was my run. I don't know. You can post in the comments. I will say that God turned the light out on you, I guess.
Yeah, roommate decided to turn off all the lights in the house.
But I will, every opponent I played was very fun. I don't know. I guess now with the bye, I can play for fun stuff, for fun decks now if I want. So
you said you were playing Trench.
I did not. Don't tell people that. Don't tell people I'm playing Trench. There's a good chance I might take Trench to a PQ. Yes. I know next set, like when we start.
Fun.
When we have it is for fun for me for fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love it.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna win or you're gonna lose, and usually by turn 3 or 4, like how bad it's gonna be, and
just don't mess up, and you're good.
Yeah. I might take Trench. I know next set will be on Trench, so I know next set unless plot really sucks, then we're not gonna be on Trench. But
we'll see.
I think we will. We still owe that.
Check my Von Reg deck.
Yeah, I might take your Von Reg deck
or Kaz.
I did get a Kaz showcase, so I might actually start playing Kaz. Because I got a Kaz showcase. I also got a Qui-Gon. So out of the packs, out of the stuff I won, I got a Qui-Gon showcase. So that was in our cart. They let us trade in for top. Anybody that made the top cut was able to trade in some of their packs for carbonite packs. And so Stanny and I each got a box, and I was like, would you, do you care? Like, I own everything. So like, it's a lot less waste for me. Like, I would rather have the carbonite packs and maybe get something cool that, like, I got a Gungi prestige that I didn't have. I got a Marin prestige I didn't have, you know, so like I got some cool stuff that I just didn't have out of the carbonite packs. And of course I got the showcase. So like that was always a win.
Now
you know?
I got to play the Qui-Gon deck that I made.
I know, like I
Qui-Gon
actually
blue.
I will, like, Qui-Gon showcase is like orange too. Like I didn't
really
realize
good.
how it was like that orange. And I was like, oh my god, like this
Yeah,
Intel's
it's
in.
Like
Jesus.
shockingly a very, very good showcase. The showcases for this set are really, really good, except for Avar. That one's worse than the Luke pilot.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Avar is better than the Luke pilot. Period. Yes, it is. You just are jealous.
Yeah, I'm not jealous. I assure you.
But it does help a little bit because it either gives me trade fodder or I keep it, and I might actually just keep it and play Qui-Gon because I was kind of high on Qui-Gon for a little while. Like I really genuinely like the Qui-Gon decks.
It's got some weird issues into some random things, but like it's a very solid deck. It's very good if you get it going.
Yeah, I think Qui-Gon's fun. So I'll probably just keep it. I don't know. We'll see. Or I'll trade it to Sam. Sam, I'll trade that to you for your Palpatine showcase. But I have a Morgan one now. So I have a Morgan, I have a Snoke, I have the Qui-Gon one.
I want Snoke.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other ones I have.
You have Revan, don't you?
Oh, yep. I have Revan and Barriss. Those are the two I got in my pack or my things. So I got a Revan and Barriss. I will never get rid of I don't think I'll ever get rid of the Revan one. I think I'll just keep that one, period.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I actually for locals will probably put together a Revan deck just because I think it's fun. So I think I'm gonna.
Use mine. It's good.
I think I will. I think I'll just put together a Revan deck because I think I want to use the showcase and I want to play something crazy. I want to see if we can get some more. Can we transition the meta to be insane instead of just like a little bit stable with some weird stuff? I want to just see can we completely upset the whole meta and start getting some of these other things to go crazy, right?
Just ban Quinlan, Sabine, Cad, and Boba, and then and Han too, and see what happens to the meta. I would love that.
So
don't actually do that, but like it would be like wild just to see like random stuff people come up with.
Yeah, it would be fun. So, all right, for the last segment, we have some new lists that I would say to watch for. Some off-meta lists. Again, you guys said you like these when we do these, so I'm going to keep doing them. And there's some cool stuff in here. There's a Kaz in here. And again, I got a Kaz showcase, so I'm probably going to be on. I probably will start playing some Kaz again. I really like Kaz's ability, and I think originally I called him to be one of the top ones, and then it didn't really work out. But I think it's just 'cause the play just wasn't there, and now it is, right? So
and now he's got some better cards I can actually do things with.
So we are going to do that. But to begin with, to kick it off, I'm going to let Alex, we got a GI Jeddah City that took 8th in an Australian PQ, and I do not understand the Jeddah City. I know we've covered one of these before, but I thought, hey, this is an updated version, and there's some really cool stuff in here that I wanted to go through. So Alex, what is this list?
Yeah, okay. One, copying my locals, Jeddah City GI. Jeddah City, always worth it, by the way. So, yeah, Grand Inquisitor, set 1, red, Jeddah City deck. So this has triple Guavian antagonizers, double Hotshot, triple Aura, double Bazine, double the Dark One probe droids, triple Strike Ship, triple TIE Bomber, which I think is kind of interesting, but it's a really nasty first turn play. Triple Force Choke, 1 copy of Keep Fighting, double No Good to Me Dead, only double Sneak Attack, 1 copy of Armed to the Teeth, triple of the 3-cost Bova, triple Grand Inquisitor, triple the Nihil Marauder, double Waylay, double Scimitar, double the Krennic Shuttle, triple Clan Challengers. They took that over Thralls of the Coven because they wanted 1 less health. I guess maybe if they upgraded with a single copy of Armed to the Teeth, or maybe 2 of the Hotshot Blasters to get the Overwhelm. I'm not exactly sure the entire thought process on that one. Triple Vader Pilot, which is really interesting, and then double Ruthless Raider. In the side, you have one Greedo, triple McClunky, double Bamboozle, double of the First Order Snowtrooper, which I think is probably just for Hantu, and then double the Zygerian Star Hoppers. It's also really nasty, actually, when you have triple Vader Pilot and you put Vader Pilot on TIE Bomber, things get really stupid.
They do, and they force you to kill that TIE bomber real quick.
Yeah, well, you can first turn TIE Bomber, swing with GI's ability, second turn, put Vader on there, swing, and then do it again because he's got 3 or less attack, so you can just re-ready it with Grand Inquisitor. Same with the strike ships, which is actually probably why they have both in there, just for that Vader Pilot to go in there. My local usually uses Dengar because it's only like +1, so you can use his 2 swing ships for the extra damage and indirects, all that kind of stuff, and all underworld stuff naturally. But it's a really cool deck. I've always been a fan of the yellow GI decks. They're really cool. They're really fast, and they kind of hit out of nowhere.
They do. We have a local that is very into Grand Inquisitor, and hopefully he sees this episode. I like this. He always is brewing up some cool Grand Inquisitor stuff. I like this deck. It's not probably my play style personally. I feel it becomes a little bit more risky. A little bit with, like playing this into something that can just, if you can only play 1 or 2 units a turn, it feels a little bit bad. I think I would change up some of this stuff a little bit to have a few more 1-drop units to maybe not worry about GI's ability turn 1. I don't know. So I don't know. I do like the strike ships. I think those are a genius call in this type of a deck. So
yeah, I'd probably do like one more sneak attack, cut the keep fighting. That's almost always irrelevant. Probably also cut arm to the teeth, and then just like add just a couple of random stuff. I like main decking the Zygerians because I think they're a solid first turn play. But then also it leans a little bit more towards like space stuff. But there's some things you can mess around with that are really cool. The Nihil Marauders, swinging them in for 4, and then readying. Actually, no, you don't even need to ready them. So you just Hotshot Blaster the Nihil Marauder. So they swing for 6, and then you can GI ability and ready them up again, and then swing for another 6.
Yep.
Like there's a bunch of like really, really cool little tricks you can do with a bunch of the stuff.
Yeah. It's also like, I don't know, there's like those reckless gunslingers kind of like would be cool in this deck, I think.
2 ones?
Yeah, I like them. Because it's something you can sneak out, and then it sits there, and then you can use it to swing into something. And it does like automatic damage to their base.
I mean, you can't ready it with Grand Inquisitor.
You're right, you can't, but like, I don't know, what do you do when you play an Aurora and turn 1, and then you do your damage and you swing in for the 3, right? And then the next turn they just kill it, and then you play another unit. And
well, that's the nice thing about Grand Inquisitor is that you get your swing in like the turn you play him because he just uses his ability.
I guess, but you're just not building a board. I don't know. That's the only issue. I feel going a little bit lower to the ground. I don't know. Maybe just play Kylo, I guess, then. But
yeah, this goes a little bit higher than I typically see, but like it's still very, very good.
Yeah. And I still like the Vaders. I still think that's a great call because you can put a Vader on the ground too if they've tapped out of resources and ready that Vader, and he's swinging in for 7. Like, you're gonna cry a little bit. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. We had Kaz Data Vault. It was a Kaz Data Vault. I played against one of these at Worlds with my Hansu Blue, and I did not lose. But I do kind of like this deck. But it's not built around his ability specifically. I don't think.
No.
Like there is some stuff in here that it is, but not everything. So this deck is Kaz Data Vault. It runs 3 jam communications, 3 battlefield marines, 3 fireballs, 3 L337s, 3 Luke pilots, 3 of the N1 Starfighters, 3 of the Green Phoenix Squadron A-Wings, 3 Spark of the Rebellion, 3 Surprise Strike, 3 Blue Leader, 3 of the contracted Hunters, which I do like those. 3 of the Millennium Falcons, 3 of the other Falcons that you have to get out and push, 3 stolen AT haulers, 3 waylays, 3 Poe pilots, 3 Kiras, 3 Adelphi patrol wings. That's what they are. Yeah, 3 Chewbacca's and 3 Han Solos. In his side, he has 3 Confiscates, 2 of the Asteroid Sanctuary, 3 Bamboozled, and 2 Bright Hopes. So no Sentinel at all.
Well, what are you gonna put in? Right, like Bright Hopes are fine in the side. I don't think you need like echo-based offenders or something like that, right?
I don't know. Maybe
you're trying to outrace them, and you have a 33 health.
Yeah. I do like the deck for the most part. I do think that Contracted Hunter is really good because you can, you can use your Kaz action on him, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't die at the end of the round.
Yeah.
It's a 4/4 ambush for 3.
Yeah, so like it is nice. Like I'll be honest, my belief is that unit is used as a control piece, and I feel it could probably be more of a sideboard card. But I guess if like you choose not to ambush it in and they can't kill it, and then you could just use your Kaz on it, then it works out really well.
I think it's a very solid piece. I also really like it in like Palp Yellow.
Yeah, I do too.
Because you just palp them at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're very, very solid pieces because you're not really using a lot of Kaz ability on this because like you could use it on the Fireball, which is whatever. The Falcon is pretty important. I mean, like it's nice on the Falcon because you don't have to pay for it. So obviously the Hauler, but that's and the Contracted Hunter, like that's it. That's what you're using his ability on.
Yep, so that's it.
It's kind of weird why you would choose Kaz. Maybe he's just faster. So that's why they're doing him instead of another yellow hero leader, maybe. So, but it's a solid deck. I'm not a big fan of Data Vault for Kaz. But maybe this is just a little bit because it doesn't seem like it's like a mid-rangey kind of deck, right? Like this still seems pretty aggro. So that's why I'm just like, that's a choice for aggro. It probably doesn't lose to other aggro decks because you have Data Vault, but you're not like outputting a ton of damage, right? You don't have like, I mean, you have triple Surprise Strike, but other than that, you don't really have like pumps, right? Like you don't have like red has like trench runs and heroic sacks. My blue one has like punch hits and surprise strikes and breaking ins. And like I have a lot of pumps in that. It's just kind of weird that when you're playing not super cheap units because you don't have anything that costs 1 other than Jamcom, like you're not like modulating.
You're playing one,
like substituting it with pumps, right? Yeah, you're playing like 1 a turn, which seems really weird for aggro.
Yeah, and like. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I'll be honest. I could get on board with Data Vault because I genuinely I like it. I have a hard time with like you're only playing 1 a turn, and like when I played my Han into this, or maybe it was just a green base instead of a Data Vault. I don't remember at Worlds, whatever it was. They were playing 1 unit a turn, and Han, I'll just kill your units until I get to my top end, and you're just not going to win because when I hit my top end, I got better top end than you. So
yeah, 1 unit a turn is like really bizarre to me for aggro.
Yeah,
or specifically like a space Kaz aggro where you need to be super low to the ground because your guy comes out on 4.
Yeah, I mean, like there's no turncoats in here, right? Like, where's my cartel turncoats for? You could kill the bounty on it too with him. So like. You can play 2 of those. There's no Y-Wings in here. Like Republic Y-Wing is a great ship.
Like Wolf Packs are also frequently playing. I don't like them. I like the Republic Ys over the Wolf Packs, but like those are still also like 1-cost ships. Like I'm not saying, modulate something and get like Boshek in here because we don't really have like good green ships at the beginning, but it's it's kind of weird. I mean, they got second, so
it did, and it was a bigger PQ
a really
too.
Good showing. Yeah.
It wasn't like it was even bigger than ours. I think it was like 76 or 80 people or something like that.
Nice.
So
Yeah, it's just kind of strange to me.
To me, it feels like a little bit of a different style than I would be playing, unless they're just jamming and sparking to begin with, and then like
You don't have units.
then playing a bunch of units to the end. But then why are you playing Kaz? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the red version anymore. I played the red version quite a bit, and I don't like it as much. Like I like the blue better. Like I'd rather play the
But
blue.
I've been saying, man, blue is like just chunky enough that like it's hard for people to deal with it.
Yeah. So I like the blue personally better. Because there's a lot more blue things you can play with for Kaz's ability. Than there is other
3/5 for 2 spaceship is pretty nasty.
Yep. And you get Falcon. You still get your Falcons. So it's not like you don't get your Falcons.
And you get really good pilots.
Yeah. So either which way, I do like the list. I will probably put this not on the table, but all right, I shouldn't say on the table. That's an X-Wing thing. I will probably put this, I'll play this online a little bit to just kind of get a feel for it. Because there's something that we're missing, and because we haven't played it. So.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, Blue Leader's really nice.
Yeah, Blue Leader's amazing. I love that card, especially in that deck. All right. The next deck we have is a Von Reg Yellow. This is our buddy Crispy. Yeah. Good old Crispy getting second in the PQ. With his Von Reg Yellow. No triple Dark Raid, baby. So, Alex, what is this deck?
Yeah, so Crispy rolled back his Von Reg Yellow. Love this kind of deck. So it's got triple of the Crackshot V-Wings, triple of the Forge Starfighter, that's the 1/1 hidden Raid 1 guy, triple of the Mining Guild TIE, triple Republic Y, triple TIE LNs, double Daring Raid, triple Punch It, double Unmasking the Conspiracy. We know how much he loves that card. A single Bazine, triple Kylo's TIE Silencer, double Arm to the Teeth, triple Boshek, love it, double Fang Fighter, triple the Lurking TIE, triple 7 Fleet Defender, triple Von Reg's Interceptor, double K-Turn, triple Krennic Shuttle, 1 Boba Pilot, and double Vader Pilot. In the side, you have double Swoop Down, a full suite of the Elite P-38s, double Outmaneuver, and triple Ruthless Raider. And I love this kind of deck. I love me some Von Reg. I love me some Boshek shenanigans. I love me some Arm to the Teeth. Unmasking the Conspiracy is all fun. He's the only other person I've seen other than me playing Punch It, so I love that.
Yep. And Punch It works so well with your Bosheks, right?
I mean, just pay 1 to get 2 extra attack. You're probably good. You got a bunch of 1 drops, so you're probably playing 2 on the first turn, and then playing Punch It with one of them, and playing another one, and pumping up the second ship with Von Reg's ability, and then playing another ship on top of it. It goes wild. And he's only got, let's see, it's like the 2 Vaders, the triple Krennic Shuttle, and then the 2 Armed to the Teeth, the Silencers, and the Bazine. All of them that's your only even costed cards. So you're hitting Boshek pretty consistently. You only got 11 even cards in there. So, and also don't forget that Unmasking the Conspiracy and then throwing away Kylo's TIE Silencer is a very good play because you can just play it right out of the discard pile.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like, I believe he lost in Swiss to an Anakin blue 20 blue Force base, and then refaced them in Top Cut and won. He did only play 4 rounds. Yeah, 4 rounds in their PQ, which that seems low, doesn't it? That seems low, but
yeah, that seems kind of low.
But they did only cut to a top 4, so they didn't have a top 8. It looks like, and then he looks like he beat the Han for Tarkentown in Swiss, and then that's what he lost to in the top cut. So in the finals, so I could see that being somewhat of an issue for this deck sometimes, because you can output just as many spaceships as this one can. I like it. I like this. I like it a
lot. It's cool.
Yeah, like I actually had Von Ragiel sleeved up at the beginning of set 4 for a little while until I found Vader just was more consistent.
Makes sense.
But I do wonder if this eats Vaders, like if this can just eat the Vaders a little bit more, but I don't know. So
if you're worried about it, like adding strike ships in there with the overwhelm is pretty good.
Yeah. Yep, I can see strike ships going in. But I don't know, like, if
they
you
are
have bow
another
ships,
even costed stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're really worried about, like, a space mirror, you could probably take out, like, one of the Krennic shuttles and maybe one of the lurking ties because it is, like, a space kind of thing to put in a couple strike ships.
Yeah. I love when people use bow ship because I just think it works so
cool.
It's just... And it's like, we always talk about how do we get extra cards in our hand, and that's how you do that. So, all right, let's move on to...
Hey, guess what? I have breaking Trench news. Trench got like 6th in the Canadian PQ.
Oh, yeah?
Trench Colossus, yep. That was it. That was a 26-person PQ, so no, not huge. But first and second were both yellow Palp. So they had to play each other. And then also Trench was 6th in that. So it's just wild. Can we move to that part of Canada where it's just Control, Charlottetown?
Yeah, you can. I don't know is like how cold it is there, though. You might hate it more.
Yeah, I'm sure they have more bears than they have humans. It's fine.
Okay, so I was incorrect. That was the run he took to his store showdown.
Okay.
So he actually won all his rounds and ID'd the last 2 rounds of Swiss. And he lost to a Quinlan's Harkentown. There you go.
Interesting.
So that was the loss in finals was to a Quinlan's Harkentown. It was a
I wonder if it
1-2.
just like blew up his hand and he just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yes, onto the next one though. I just had to interject there because I was browsing and I'm like, oh my god, another Trench Colossus. Love it. There's dozens of us.
We'll have to do a video. I guess we'll have to do another Trench video, huh?
Well, yeah, that one down the pipeline, right? But anyways, the next deck we're going over is a deck that I play, but not quite exactly this one. This is Yellow Talzin. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I actually did play this quite a bit early
this version?
on. Similar to this version, yes. I did not have Greedos in there. I don't like Greedo, but yes, I ran a very similar version to this. This has no Sheehan Furies. I had Sheehan Furies, and this has no Vaders, and I had Vaders.
Yeah, mine has Sheehan Furies, sneak attacks, and Vaders, and that's like the major differences.
Yeah, and that's what I had too. Was I had that for the ambush, like especially like that Talzin's assassin being able to ambush that thing in is pretty good.
Yeah, give it -3/-3, and then jump it in.
Yeah, on Talzin's flip churn too.
Yeah, and reduce the attack damage by 2. You're just taking out like Luke.
Yeah.
For like 1 damage back.
Yeah, and I did not have that many keys in there either. That was definitely I had I think 1 or 2. I don't remember. I had 1 or 2 in there, and then that anger, whatever that lurking anger, learned anger, whatever that card is. I did not have that main deck. That was sideboarded.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to go through the deck.
All right. It's whatever that 5 cost card is. I can't read it.
Liberated by Darkness.
Thank you. What did I call it? Anger?
Yeah. Anyways, triple Greedo, triple Owen, triple Hotshot Blaster, triple Krennic, triple Karis, double of the Night Sister Warrior, triple Secretive Sage, double Bamboozle, double Surprise Strike, triple Elite P38s, triple Shinhati, triple Power of the Dark Side, double Waylay, triple the Darth Tyrannus, triple of Talzin's Assassin, triple Blue Ki-Adi-Munis, a single copy of Liberated by Darkness, triple Anakin, and double Cad Bane. In the side, you have a 3rd Bamboozle, triple Outmaneuver, a 2nd Liberated by Darkness, double Super Laser Blast, and triple Avenger.
Yeah, let's throw top end in here, baby.
Yeah, if the games are going long, why not put a couple Super Laser Blasts and Avengers? don't go the whole distance and put the Annihilators in there, coward. But I super understand that that's probably not going to happen. I run triple Cad Banes as well because Cad Bane's really, really good. But also I have sneak attacks, right? So, yeah, it's a cool deck. I like me some Talzin Yellow. I think it's more interesting than red. And it's just it's a solid thing. The triple Hotshot Blaster might be a little bit much for my liking. Again, I have like the Shan Flurries, but I mean, it's a very solid deck. It can do a lot of work.
Yeah, I think
really cool.
I like the deck in the aspect of I agree with you. I liked it better than red. I think red's probably better overall consistency wise.
We'll figure that out later on.
I mean, we can because like I would play the yellow version over the red version every day of the week. Like I enjoy it a million times more. Like
yeah,
and people don't expect it. Like just like okay, there was one that made top 20 at Worlds or something like that this year. And we did not cover it on the podcast for the pure fact that I was testing it to see if this would be something that could be a silver bullet into the Hans and Kylos for my first PQ. That was I actually literally was like playing Talzin Yellow for like 2.5 weeks straight just to see if I could get it to be like super consistent. And I couldn't get it. Maybe it doesn't mean it can't be, right? But yeah, this version's not my style though. I will tell you, Cad Bane is absolutely hilarious though in this deck. Like,
oh yeah, he's disgusting,
and
you can modulate their health.
Yep, because of Talzin. So yeah, I was playing like I had constructed lightsabers in mine. That was like the version that I was playing. I actually put constructed lightsabers in, just because like if I get that on Talzin, like it's like game over. Like what are you gonna like? You better figure out. You better have Confiscate or something to kill it. You know, so I like the yellow version. I actually literally like the yellow version is literally actually sitting over here in my pile of stuff. You can't see it. I have a pile of cards that I haven't sorted, and I literally left my yellow Talzin almost all together, minus the stuff I stripped out of it, in case I wanted to go back and play it again.
Yeah, mine's in my bag. Like I have it. I really like yellow Talzin a lot.
Yeah, and I have a showcase for Talzin, so there you go. So like it works out very good. Works out very good for me. Like it's like it gives me a reason to play it. So. All right, so we're going to move on to the 5th place at our Michigan PQ. This was the Cad Tarkenton we mentioned earlier. This was, I don't know where this came from, but I know Matt was running it, and I know
it came from Spain.
I think Stan Hazuski picked this deck for Matt at the PQ. Like I think
they were working on it.
No. Like Matt came in and walked up to me and Stanny and was like, pick like odd or even or something like that. And Stan Hazuski didn't understand, so he just picked one, and he's like, are we gonna flip a coin? He's like, no, I already know which deck was for whatever side, and that's what he played. He just played this, and
yeah, this won a PQ in Spain.
Okay, this deck I love this deck. Like this is like if I had Underworld Vader pilot deck without like it being like a pilot deck, but like an Underworld version of like the Vader deck. That's this. That's what this is. This is great. So I'll go over it. It's got 3 Criminal Muscle, which is absolutely hilarious in this deck. And when he played it, I was like, what the fuck does that card even... Like, why do you have this card in here? But it's Underworld, right? So, you know.
And it defeats a non-unique upgrade.
Yep.
Or, well, like it returns it to their hand, so it doesn't necessarily defeat it. It'll defeat, like, the token ones, but you can also bounce... I don't know, Constructed Lightsaber. We were just talking about that. It's a non-unique card.
Yep, General's Blade.
Yep.
There you go. That's a great one. That's one that runs wild, you know.
Even generic pilots, which is kind of fun.
And then he has 3 Death Star Stormtroopers, 3 Greedos, 3 Guavian Agonizers, 3 of the Reckless Gunslingers, 3 McClunkies, 3 Hotshot Blasters, 2 Aurora Sings, 2 of the Sneak Attacks, 2 Surprise Strikes, 3 Boba units, 3 of the Mist Hunters, 3 Marauders, 3 Forloms, 2 IG-2000s, 2 Bosk, 3 Zuckuss, 2 of the Ruthless Raiders, and 2 of the Cad Banes. And his sideboard is the aggrieved parliamentarians, which he did not need at all. It seemed I don't think, one person,
like 2 Kylos there, or was it just one?
Yeah, one, maybe 2. There might have been 2, but
I think it was one green Kylo, right? Yeah. I think it was ECL Kylo.
Yeah. There's 2 aggrieves, 2 bamboozled, which she used against me. 2 of the Bazines, 2 TIE Phantoms, and 2 of the Red Devastators. So this deck plays low to the ground. It can ping your turn 1 play that you thought could not be pinged because, by the way, it can just ping it, which is dirty if you don't know that like usually you're looking for what their 2 costs. So like I would play a 1 cost, and
you can't ping my Porg.
Yeah, well, you can't ping the Porg. You're right, but nobody else is running Porgs but you, I guess. You don't even have Porgs in your deck.
That's Sabine deck. It's got Porgs.
Yeah, just a Sabine deck. Just Benton's deck.
Hey, I can play Porgs in Mono Blu-ray. I'll just mill them with Queels. I don't want
to. Yeah, so this deck just plays low to the ground. It uses its Tactics down early. It can output multiple cards. It has Mist Hunter, which allows you to draw cards when you play Bounty Hunters, which has quite a few bounty hunters in this deck. So I will say I don't think he ever saw a Bosk against me, though. So I do think not seeing Bosk hurts a little bit. I would probably run 3 Bosk in the deck, but that's just me. You have a lot of events. I don't know. Maybe not, but
yeah, well, I mean, like sneak attack doesn't really. I mean, I guess like you could sneak attack something else while Boska's out, but you're not really like it doesn't really synergize too well. And yeah, it's what 7 events.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's fair. I don't know. I just like Bosk a lot, and he did not see Bosk. He didn't see Bosk, so. But like one of the big things is like being able to play Bosk and McClunky in a turn, right? Like you can Bosk and you can McClunky him if you want to, and you still get to do damage, all around the board, and it can be very dirty. But yes, this deck is definitely very fun to play, I bet. And it is not fun to play against. So
I would love to play into this with my Mono Blu-ray. That'd be fine.
Hopefully. I don't know. Alex. You got 5 less health on your base. You might not. You only get the 1 shield until you get other. If they kill your Hondo, I don't know. Maybe it would be good into that. I don't know. But I do like this deck. I thought Matt made this deck. I thought this was Matt's like baby. So like I was like, holy shit. I was like, I've never seen this.
Swerved to it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I've never seen this, and this is genuinely a consideration for another PQ. Like I can get behind this deck. This deck, it looks fun to play. So, yeah, anything else?
It looks cool.
All right, I think that's all of the deck lists I had for tonight. All right. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. It was a fun episode, albeit probably a little bit longer episode. I guess that's what happens when I play in the PQ. I think we spend more time whenever we play PQs than we do when we don't play in them. I am 40% on the edge of going back to Indiana, even with all the crappy prize support this weekend, because I forgot it's a long weekend, and it just might be something I do. I don't know. I don't know. I think Sam's going and Eric might be going, and I might just want to go just to have fun. I don't know. My wife might not be happy. That'd be 2 weekends. I'd be gone for 2 days. But otherwise, anyway, we do have another PQ in Michigan coming up at Evolution Games. Maybe I'll be on Von Reg. Maybe we'll be on Trench. I don't know. I kind of want to play Trench in a PQ, this set.
Sure.
Like, I kind of do want to play Trench in a PQ. Maybe we should go to Ohio and play Trench. That way, like, if we piss the people off there in Ohio and not, like, in our area.
I'll go to Ohio and play Trench. That's fine.
All right, so find the Ohio PQ, and we'll see when it is, and let's go. Like, let's see if we can afford to do that. I'm not super into the driving and all in one day, though. You guys are nuts for doing that. I don't like getting up at 5 a.m.
Can't afford room and board, so
Well, maybe it'll be cool enough we can camp. That's cheap. $30 for a campsite. I would camp in the morning.
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, we'll look into that. Whatever. We do have another PQ coming up in Michigan in the end of September. There's also a 1K at Michigan GT if you would like to go play in it. There is a 1K going on at Sylvania Factory.
Sylvan Factory.
Yep, the Sylvan Factory in Ann Arbor. It's Ann Arbor, right? Or is it Saline?
Yes, it's Ann Arbor.
Because I know there's a site in Saline too. I just can't remember which.
They're pretty close to each other, but this one's the Ann Arbor one. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is that. I've been thinking about just going to that just because I think that would be fun. That's kind of in the middle of the month, and I don't think I have anything else going on. And that's like a day trip. I could just drive down there and drive back, and that'll be fun. But if you want to play in the Michigan GT, it's a $40 for a 1K, and usually the guy's pretty good about giving stuff prizing out at that event. So that's in Lansing as well. So I think that's the weekend after the Michigan PQ. So there's quite a bit of events in Michigan coming up if you guys want to go to those. We got to convince Alex to go to some of these and play a circuit with us, Alex. Come on.
If I could afford it, I'll do it.
All right. With that being said, thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the Flippity Flop.
Thanks for listening.